Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. I have a special guest here today. This is my husband,
Hello.
Matt. I thought I'd bring him on to talk about a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, which is basically sharing your session dreams and desires with your partner, and kind of getting them on board with what you want and having it just be a nice experience for everybody. So I don't know about you, but my experience generally has been I get a lot of bookings from women and from wives, mothers, and they're always like, oh, I got to talk to my partner. I'm not really sure if they're going to want to spend the money or have this experience with me. So I kind of wanted to talk about how you can approach the topic, how you can share your heart and your desire with your partner in a way that feels good for them too, and just including them in the process and making it like a real family activity. So I guess I can just bring him in quickly, and it would be for me interesting to know you've now done photo shoots every year since Jacob was well. I guess Eve. We also did one with Eve,
Mhm.
but that was like a one-off. So we did do a newborn photo shoot with Eve, but we really started doing yearly photo shoots. I think after our second was born. So I don't know how many years that's like maybe 5 years in a row, 6 years in a row now we've
Probably
done them.
six. Yeah.
And so I don't know. It would be interesting for me to hear from you. Like when I first talked to you about the subject and brought it up and said I want to do this photo shoot. This is the cost, and what do you think? And kind of what your experience was from your side.
hmm Sure. So yeah, the first time I think you brought it up was a bit of like, oh, this is different. Haven't had never done a photo shoot before, a proper professional one. So we were kind of like, okay, what we had no idea. I personally had no idea what it would entail. It was kind of like, okay, maybe the classic what you imagine. Oh, you're either in a studio, you're taking pictures, or you're going somewhere and you're posing and you're smiling. And I think it's like seeing the value in that experience. Like at the start, I didn't have that. I didn't know what it was going to be like. So I had a steep learning curve, let's say. And I think my initial reaction was like, oh, that's expensive. Is that necessary? Can't we just take photos of life, just going along? And I think it took a sort of let's take a let's jump into the deep end kind of experience. And I think it started off with personally some resistance of myself saying, well, like, do we have the finances to pay for this experience, or do we? Because it kind of felt like a luxury, and what was going to come from the future of it. And then looking even today, like, you built some amazing photo books that have had many of these sessions in there, and the kids to this day, and I to this day, love to just like flick through and just remember like those times, because I think photos, nowadays, we take so many on our phones, and they end up just like getting lost or filling up our storage on our phone. So you're just like kind of frustrated with photos almost, because they're just you know a nuisance. And but these ones, we've, as you can see behind us, we've enjoyed printing them out, and um, and showing them, or enjoying them, not just on a hard disk or on a phone, take up space, but like, you walk past them every day, you look at them, you take time in the day, and or evenings. And yeah, that's been a cool, um, yeah, thing to. It's not just like for me, because I think the experience itself was not something that I'm used to do. So I was like, okay, what are we getting? Like, are we getting something physical? But I think the whole experience, which I think you'll go into more, like, was something, that was fun to do as a family.
So I guess what I would be curious to know is like I don't remember how I brought up to you how if that I wanted a photo shoot,
hmm
but if you can imagine like this is like a big expense, or could be seen as a big expense depending
hmm
on the family and what they're used to spending money on. What do you feel like could be a good way for the topic to be approached, and how do you feel like it would help you to yeah, kind of like understand maybe like, well, what does she want? What is it? I guess I can speak from my end first. I think what would be helpful is to like sit us down, not be bringing up the topic when there's like kids running around, stressful. Like
Yeah.
maybe we, hopefully, we didn't just have a discussion about like our financially precarious situation or something, or all the upcoming costs that we have. But kind of like choose your moment in that sense, I think would be smart. And going like maybe on a date night or sometime that it's not like high stress where your immediate reaction is going to be like, why are you asking me this, like a whole
Hmm.
nother thing now we have to do, and like I'm already so busy and that's a lot of money. um I think rather to like pick your moment, and really from my end, I think it was like, this is really important to me, this is like a really important time of my life that I want recorded with you. I
Hmm.
want this to be something special for our family, and to kind of really help you feel my heart there. Not that I'm just like, yeah, we're going to do this and you just have to freaking get on board and this is what it is, but
Hmm.
more, yeah, just like really opening up my heart and like sharing, this is really important to me and I really want to do this with you.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like that's a good way to do it, or would you have other things to suggest for people bringing up the topic with their
Hmm.
partners?
Sure, definitely agree. Not to bring it up at a time when the kids are yelling at your legs, or
Right.
usual stress of life. You're like, it's another thing to hold. As guys, we got our work stress, we've got life stress of like, I've got to manage everything. This is just another thing to think about. So
Mm-hmm.
I think making sure that it doesn't feel like an overwhelming situation to bring it up. That
Mm-hmm.
things are, but I think it's not really like this is a painful thing to think. Like at the start, yeah, it's like I was saying before, like an unknown thing. But the more I've done it over the years, I actually kind of look forward to the photo sessions, and
Mm-hmm.
because of the actual time spent with the family, time spent with you, like where it's been, you know, I was saying before, we were talking earlier just how like, yeah, the times when we could just stop and our busy lives, you can kind of like put to the side,
Mm-hmm.
and you can enjoy the moment together where, you're looking each other's in the eyes, you're playing with the kids, you're just having kind of, yeah, a fun time, whether if it's
Yeah.
in the location or in your own home. You're having like an experience together. And when you look at the photos afterwards, like even you see like moments where someone's laughing or whatever, you kind of like, oh yeah, I remember we had that joke, or we were talking about that funny thing, and yeah, they great memories. And so those those kind of like at the start, you're like, well, what am I getting into? And you like say like bringing it up or this painful thing, it's not, just definitely from my side, like it's definitely not painful. Although at first you kind of like, oh, like someone's quite close with the lens, or whatever. And this kind of like, I think as guys, like being also um, like confident in yourself and
Mm-hmm.
bringing more confidence um, in front of the camera, because quite often we're sort of, no one hasn't really taken pictures of me unless it's like a headshot. And then when someone gets into it, like, and takes more pictures, and you're like, oh, actually, I like these. And this professional is a professional for a reason, because they know how to get nice angles, um, and yeah, make you look and feel good in the sessions. Um, so yeah, going back to your original question, bringing it up, yeah, I think we have to just, like date nights is great. I
Yeah,
enjoy
date
that.
nights is probably good. A little bit of wine doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, okay. So that you actually said a lot there already that I wanted to go into. But yeah, a lot of my bookings end up coming from like wives or women. But I've had a few over the years that have come from men. And I feel like it's such a sweet sentiment to do, because obviously this is a man that's seen or heard a desire from his wife that she would like photos with maybe like just herself and her kids, or just a portrait session for, like, I do women empowerment sessions where you kind of can celebrate a transition in your life, whether it's got a new job, quit a job, whatever the kind of life transition is, to commemorate it. And maybe they've seen that and they want to gift that to their wife. And I think that this really can be seen as like a really special family activity, family time. think I can skip to the bottom and just talk about like practical ways to make it more enjoyable for everybody. Um, yeah, a big one I think is, for instance, if you end up doing a mountain photo shoot or if you're going to kind of like a location, I always just tell people like, don't just go for the photo shoot and then leave again. Like that's you're like whatever 2-3 hours in the car. You arrive, it's like do the photo shoot, and then it's already late. And the kids are tired and they're hungry, and I'm like, really try to make it a family experience. It's going to be like memorable. So if I end up like having travel dates, which is I've got some upcoming ones now going to northern Italy, like the Alps there. And I always just tell people maybe like book a weekend, like go for Saturday to Sunday, have a photo shoot on Saturday evening, arrive slowly whenever you want on Saturday, have a day out with the kids or with the family, and then do your photo shoot and have like a whole nother day to really just have an excuse to just get away as a family, to really spend time with each other, or at least take the full day, for instance. I think it's nice. Then you're not necessarily like rushing into the session, rushing back out. Obviously, time, of course, and money depends on what's going to be possible. But even if you're planning one just in Munich, like I don't know, we've actually never done this, but because we haven't done one in Munich in a really long time. But if we were to do one in Munich and it's not too far from where we live, I would say like if you do a session in the morning or something like that, like even just like planning a date night in the evening, like would be so lovely. Like after that really connective experience to kind of continue it throughout the day, and really seeing it as a really special thing and not just something that you're like, oh, we got to do this thing, but rather like, no, this will be really fun for our family. This will be really just time put aside just for us, like just for our family to connect, to be with one another, and to enjoy time with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going off that, I think when you have like something to look forward to, or you've just gone from something fun like breakfast together, dinner.
Food is always good with
Yeah.
kids. Like make sure everyone's fed. That's a big thing.
100%.
Or afterwards, like looking forward to going to eat somewhere for kids could
I've got
be.
a nice burger dinner restaurant booked. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
this puts you in a good mood. I think when you're in a good mood, you see that in the photos. Like if you come along and like I don't want to be here. You could kind of tell on the photos. So like I think I've seen that when I'm like, oh yeah, I was happy because we've got these beach photos. I think even this one right here in the summer that we took, and like I remember that it was just a nice time with the kids enjoying the waves, like, and all this kind of stuff, and we're just in good moods and we're on holiday, seeing family, and it was good. So.
Yeah, and then I think just thinking of it like a gift to your family. I think for a guy, if you're like, look, I would not necessarily spend my money on this if it were just me. I don't care, and I would not do this. But I think really seeing it as a way to really like love your partner, and to really like gift this to your family, and think about like how important these photos will be to her also, but not just to her, but also to the kids when they get older. And really, I think shifting your perspective there and showing up, I think, like really remembering that like this isn't just for me, even if this isn't necessarily my favorite way to spend the day. I really want to show my family love and want to gift this to my family. I think that's just a really nice like way to like think about it and go into it.
I think especially the kids, it's a great gift for the kids, because like I remember as a kid looking through some old film cameras that we some photos from the film, and like cherishing those, and like when you find them sort of in an old drawer when you're clearing out a box or whatever, like it's like, oh, that was awesome. Like having that memory there in the photo. Sometimes our memory fails us, and we're like, oh, I remember it in some ways, but then when you have a picture, like
well, the kids' little
visual.
faces too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they just grow from year to year. It's like their little faces totally change. I mean, the pictures that we have, I'm like, I don't know. You don't think it's going to be that different from year to year. And then you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're so much bigger. And like, we've been through a lot. Just like welcoming every new kid has been like a big shift for us, like in our marriage. And it is like a celebration every year of like getting through another year together, growing stronger, being closer to one another, working through stuff. And I don't know. I think it is, you should commemorate it every year. I think it is a freaking big thing to like raise kids and be married. Like it is.
Live life together.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to say to the whole topic before you head off?
They're going off the gift idea, because I think we often, kind of like, oh, what do we buy our other half or
Mm.
like our wives for Christmas, birthdays, even like spontaneous, like during the like they were saying, like when they're happy in like hard times, and or like um, I think these kind of moments are like almost a restart, or a kind of like let's have a different perspective and let's go away together, let's enjoy a photo shoot. And
Mm.
I think they've been really like, I think I've seen that with Lee. Like, if there's ever been like an idea that I've said, oh, hey, let's go for a photo shoot, she's, you see her, you know, her
Mm.
emotion is like, oh, I'm really happy that you've thought about that. And with Lee being obviously a professional photographer, it's like it's seeing value in the work that she's doing,
Mm.
um, and how important it is, and how beneficial, and how fun it is. So yeah, like I said, during the sessions I've had, it's definitely been just fun with the kids, fun with you, and
Mm.
I can only encourage other guys to make that step, because it is hard. I remember the same, like
Mm.
figuring out the funds, and yeah, it's just like taking a step. So yeah, let's go for it. Trusting this professional photographer to that they would give great photos. And I'm not biased or anything, but I think, like I was saying how before earlier, like it's like trusting this photographer that even in those sort of tough times, or tough, like you think, oh, there's a situation, a kid's crying or whatever, like I think you still deliver beautiful photos. Um
Mm.
and that's like, yeah, that's a really cool and a gift that you have. And yeah,
Mm.
but like I said, I'm not biased, but
I appreciate it. That's very
so
sweet.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and you can go. It's okay.
All right.
Thank you very, very much for being my guest today. I'll wrap it up. Um, yeah, so thanks everybody for listening in. And I think, yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a long time and just talk to Matt and just bring in a guy's perspective, because this can be a little bit of a tricky topic to broach with your partner, depending on how open they are to it and all the unknowns. But all I can say is, like, yeah, just dive right in, open yourself up, and be vulnerable with your partner and tell them why it's important to you. Let them really feel, I think, your heart and your desire for why you want to like commemorate the moments in a really artful way, not just with your own camera or phone. And yeah, if there's any, I don't know, from the guys, if there's any questions or interest in how to book a session or how to gift your partner a session, just let me know. I've had like not lots, I would say a good 3 in the last 5 years, men message me and ask for how to gift their wives sessions, which I don't know, I just always found that so lovely, and I think the wives have always found it really special, like a really, really special gift. So, anyway, all of you wonderful people out there, I hope you guys are having a great day. And thanks for stopping in and listening to this topic today. See you again soon.